When you start to think of all the internal qualities that you don't like about yourself, the things that are rooted in trigger points or traumatic memories or difficult experiences as parts of you instead of the entirety of who you are, you start to access a deep inner healing that allows you to feel truly free and even access compassion and love for those wounded parts. Today's video, by popular demand, is talking about the parts within us through an internal family systems perspective, and we'll be addressing how these parts of us, even when they're based in trauma, even when they hold us back and hurt us, they're ultimately working in our favor. Internal family systems talks a lot about parts. It's even called parts work in a lot of different circles of therapy. This is because in internal family systems, we differentiate from the true self, which is based on qualities such as compassion, curiosity, clarity, creativity, openness, and all of these genuine qualities that support us rather than hold us back. Parts do not have that unconditional sense of self-love and support. Parts were created in response to difficult events that happened in our childhood usually, but it can happen as we age and grow as well. And these parts of us fragmented away to either hide away the difficult, intense emotions that arose when we were exposed to difficult life experiences or relationships, or they fractal out into protector parts that keep us safe when we feel like we might be threatened by similar situations that we recognize from our past. Now, it's important to differentiate that self and parts are not the same. The important piece of healing when it comes to internal family systems is to access a perspective of self so that you can notice when you are being flooded by a part. And when you can see that a part of you is ignited or triggered, then you can see that because I can see that part of me, I am not that part. I am me. And this part of me is feeling wounded or triggered. And that is where the healing happens. So it's important to understand that you have to get back to that place of self in order to do this meaningful parts work and really reap the benefits of its healing. In internal family systems, the term unblending means taking that separation between self and part and unblending the energy that part is flooding you with so that you can return to the clarity and the compassion and curiosity held by self. Once you can notice that you are in a triggered state and that part of you is feeling ignited, whether you're feeling suddenly fueled by fear, or maybe you're in a fit of rage, maybe you are consumed by anxiety, starting to notice this isn't all of me. This is part of me. Part of me feels anxious. Part of me feels aggressive. Part of me feels afraid. And then you can start to inquire, what is this part of me? First, start in the body. Start by asking yourself, where does this anger live? Where does this anxiety take hold in my body? Do I feel it in my headspace? Is it present in my heart? Does my stomach feel like it's full of butterflies, or maybe my shoulders feel tense? How do I know in my body that this angry part, this anxious part, this aggressive part is present? So first, noticing these somatic experience of the part, and then you can get curious and you can say, I wonder why. Why am I feeling flooded by anxiety at this moment? What in my environment, in my relationships, in my everyday experience is triggering this emotion inside of me and coming through me as a messenger to tell my body that something doesn't feel regulated or safe? when you start to notice that this part of me feels this way and is triggered by this experience, you're starting that unblending process where you see this part as something precious and valuable within you that is not all of who you are, but it is a messenger that indicates something intense is happening that is triggering an old memory or experience based on something that in the past did not feel safe. Then, from self, you can start to teach your system. We are not in that place that we were before. What used to be unsafe is no longer happening today, because today I'm here. And from my wise, centered self place, I can support the parts within me that feel ignited and triggered by giving them my awareness and then by giving them my love. I want you to practice this. This is something that is a muscle, and it starts to get stronger the more you practice and work on it. So first, whenever you're in an experience where you feel ignited, start by noticing in the body where that is alive within you, and then get curious and see if you can experience the way unblending feels when you start to notice from self that this part of you is asking for your attention. Bring in some writing about this. Just write about the experience, write about the part. You can even do some drawing and create a character sketch of what does this part look like now that you know your angry part, your aggressive part, your anxious part. Is it a squiggly line person? Is it a big blocky figure? Explore what they look like and feel like in the body so that from self, you can build your compassion and your love for them. The more you work on this, I promise, the easier it gets and the more meaning and healing you start to reap from your inner work journey.